None of this conversation should be taken as medical advice for you. Before starting or changing any medical or wellness treatment, always consult your GP and medical care team. And you are very welcome back, Belinda. I got the proper music this week.
So proud of you.
I know.
So proud.
Sometimes I actually amaze myself that I remember to do things. And I'm still in Studio 2. I actually moved everything in here like half an hour ago.
Studio 2. I'm on my landing. That's my studio.
The Studio Do.
Oh, Paddy, you're funny.
It's our end of season wrap party. Oh, we should have like party hats and sweets and stuff.
Yeah, we should have. No, listen, I've just put a post up on Instagram. It's fine, that'll do.
Alright, okay. I still have this frog in my throat. I have it like months now. It's just not going. I wonder if
Maybe you should go and see your doctor. Always consult your doctor, Paddy.
I know, but like maybe I'm just talking too much.
Yeah,
like
that's always a goddamn possibility.
Don't know how you don't have fucking whole toad in your throat then. Anyway,
I heard that. Yeah,
Belinda, some people mightn't realise this, but this is our final episode of The Dose with Paddy and Belinda for season 1. For season one. Yeah.
How many is this? Is this our 20th?
20 something? Yeah, 20ish, thereabouts.
20, yeah.
Which is mad.
9th of October was our first one that we released. And how long do you think that we were speaking to each other? I don't even remember ever, or how we even got speaking to each other, Paddy.
It wouldn't have been, like, it wasn't a huge amount of time. Like, there is literally a voice note somewhere in our WhatsApps whereby you had said about maybe doing a podcast. I had been thinking at the exact same time about, I wonder, I had wanted to do a podcast, and I had set up one, but not launched it, called MJ and Me.
Oh.
And but I never did anything with it. I was going to, but then I never did. And then when you said it, and then when I said it, and I was like, oh my God,
not?
This makes...
But I don't...
So, here it is. So that was when we did our first one, the excitement from you. From like the 12th. Oh my God, we've got a podcast live.
From when?
That's like start of October. Way back, it's mad.
Is that on Instagram?
No, on WhatsApp. And then us getting excited then because we were like, oh my God, we're like top 100. Oh my God, we went top 70. We're top 50. Yes. We're like, oh my God, we're top 20 in Ireland for like health and fitness podcast. And then
it went crazy after that. It went to top 3 and everything, didn't it?
I can't remember. Like, it's gotten to the stage now where I actually don't go in and really check the charts much anymore because I know through other channels how much...
Look at that amount of voice notes from you.
Be careful what you're showing. Be careful what you're showing.
You're obviously on some kind of fucking rant.
To get cancelled. If we haven't already been.
Yeah. Well.
But like... We never imagined, like, our first few podcasts back in October were Instagram lives with horrific audio.
Yeah, I sounded like I was in a crisp packet, talking out of a crisp packet. Yeah,
and we were just kind of doing Q&As. We were talking a little bit about our journey. Yeah. We were just trying to figure things out. And then, trying to get the audio from Instagram, to edit it, to put it out and all this kind of stuff. So we have come on an awful long way since then. Like, you didn't even have a microphone. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was using this tiny little thing that I'd bought off Amazon or something, wasn't I, to try and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got that set.
I still wouldn't know what to do with any of the background stuff that you do. I just wouldn't. And I don't want to. I just don't have the bandwidth for it.
I'll change all that whenever we meet up. I'm like, right, but a crash course.
No,
audio,
absolutely not.
Podcast, recording, editing.
Did you get the dates that? Did I send you dates? I did that we can.
Well, you sent in true Belinda style. You sent me random numbers that I assumed were dates. So I've been asking Belinda for dates of like, oh, when are we meeting up? When are we meeting up? And like, we've been talking about this for months. And literally the other day, Belinda said, oh, I'll be back to you in like an hour about something else.
Give me an hour.
And give me an hour about recording the podcast or something. And then she came back and I just got this random list of numbers. And I was like, what is this list of numbers? And then I was like, oh, this must be date. This message is from the conversation 3 days ago.
Paddy, like, shut up now.
And so last week, Belinda, you hung me out to dry on Instagram because I was a bit late to the podcast and how you were sitting in the studio.
3 hours late.
So let's talk about yesterday. So this is Tuesday, and we agreed last week then that we were going to record a podcast on the Monday anymore, yeah?
Every Monday from now on for the rest of our lives.
It was
written in stone.
Yes. Now, today is Tuesday.
Yeah, and here we are recording on a Tuesday.
And what happened?
Really busy day, Paddy. I don't know what took over. Yeah, I was up the side of a mountain as well. Now, remember?
Well, is that a metaphor?
No, mate.
for pints and shots?
No, don't mention shots to me. I'm too old for shots.
So,
Paddy, I'd like 4 pints, and it ruined my life.
Yeah,
my whole life.
Yeah.
My GLP1 medication, perimenopause, and alcohol do not. Never again.
I can now see why you in December you wanted to reduce your alcohol intake, not because it was problematic, but more so because it impacts you so much.
Yeah, it's horrendous, Paddy. Yeah,
so,
it's horrendous. So and it's not because of my GLP1 medication. It's not because of that at all. It's the perimenopause. It's just the reaction that alcohol has on me now because of my age and stuff. It's just not good, and it takes too much away from. It's stealing time from me.
Belinda, you're not that old. You're what you say, 60
next year, Paddy.
So 50 next year.
Fuck no. I'll be 50 next year. And I tell you one thing though, I think I had a breakdown when I turned 30. I nearly had a mental breakdown, and now I couldn't give a shit.
Sure, you're only a young one. Yeah,
only a child. I only feel like a child, like.
Well, your birthday's a few days before mine, isn't that right?
Yeah, I'm
April.
the 14th.
Yeah, I'm the 19th of April. So I'm going to be 43.
Yeah.
So,
I'm only 49 now in April. Like, I'm not 50 till the following year.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm only 49. I'm only 48 now. I'm only childlike.
So 6 years between us.
Yeah. You'd never think it though. You'd never think you were the younger one.
At times these roles reverse an awful lot.
I know.
Anyway, so the podcast.
Ending season 1.
So this is the end of season 1, which, and again, I guess that's part of the reason why. Like we're obviously thinking about like the evolution of the podcast. Like I think we're both a bit amazed at the engagement we get from it. Like I was saying to you just before we came on air that, and again, this is stuff I know you wouldn't see regularly because I kind of would look at the stats and stuff like that from time to time. But that like the podcast is at, since October, we are at just under 13,000 downloads of our podcast.
13,000 people downloaded an episode of our podcast.
So our podcast, think of it this way, our podcasts have been played 13,000 times. Somebody has gone and hit play on our podcast 13,000 times.
13,000 times. That's amazing.
I
never, ever, ever thought for 1 minute it would be so well received. No. And I don't know what those stats are compared to other podcasts, but we're a very, very niche Our situation is very niche. There's not a lot of people out there. Even if you go looking for podcasts that are solely about, health and wellness and GLP1 medication thrown in there.
And like,
great.
I'm amazed. So one of the things that we've seen over time as well, well, maybe I shouldn't be as amazed as I am, but in terms of where people are listening from, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think if we were to ask people would say, oh, Ireland, obviously.
Yeah, I was so surprised at this.
But it's not. Ireland was our top.
Right.
Okay. And we have very solid listenership in Ireland. But that has definitely been overtaken now with the UK being the top country that listens to our podcast. And I think that in itself is something for us to keep in mind as we think about future seasons and stuff like that. But then also when we think about it, the third top country, and this bit, I've had a few people who reach out from this country, is Australia.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
I've spoken to, for the past 2.5 years, I've spoken to probably maybe 20 people from Australia.
Yeah. And like even in the past week, I've had someone literally who said something along the lines of, I love listening to your podcast. It's like a little bit of home for me.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Isn't that? Oh, yeah. And you know what as well? I have had loads of people from South Africa as well. And I've actually, I remember sometime late last year, I actually connected 2 people over in South Africa that I was talking to separately. And I said, would you mind having a... Yeah. Fantastic, like, yeah.
But,
we had 20 from South Africa. That's mad. Look, Spain... Netherlands,
so like I think the screenshot I sent you earlier I think is updated a bit now. So like our top like 5 countries that we have now is UK, Ireland, Australia, United States, and then Sweden. Like that just blows my mind. Yeah.
Sweden. Who's over there listening to us? Sweden. If there's anybody out there that's listening to this, please do DM us and we'll give you a shout out.
Would IKEA count? Is IKEA Swedish? Is that is it IKEA's from that?
Yeah, no, it's Swedish, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Should we do a flat pack podcast that they have to put together themselves? Give them the jingle and a few words.
It's definitely not Dutch, so it's not. No.
No. Oh, now I need to know that in case I'm like totally oh God,
everything?
I need to know this now. Like, oh God, I know what I'm doing. Anyway, so any standout moments for you so far with the podcast?
I just think the whole thing has been a standout moment, really, and the surprise of it being so well received by so many people. And like, I don't get emails or anything about how people like it. You get emails, but I get quite a few DMs. And I don't. And I should tell you when I get them, but they go out of my head. Yeah, like immediately.
Really?
But strange that, isn't it? Yeah. And people just love it. You know, the listeners and. Yeah.
And IKEA is Sweden, so we were right there. Yeah, I love their meatballs and their mashed potato.
Where would you get that?
And the dime cake. Have you had the dime cake? Oh,
no.
I think it's gluten free as well, if memory serves me right. Oh my God.
Like like you're talking about going to IKEA in Dublin or whatever.
Yeah. The meatballs.
I've never been to IKEA.
What?
I know. That would give me hives.
But
yeah.
Oh wow! This is the marketplace in IKEA. There's Tupperware and more Tupperware and other little bits and pieces, and there's more Tupperware, and there's like you'll get like a 900 set of Tupperware for like €5, and then you can sit there trying to put the lids on it. I'm a big fan of IKEA. IKEA, if you're listening, could do some Tupperware for some meal prep.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, yeah. Thanks, IKEA.
We have listeners in your country, IKEA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other shops are available to buy Tupperware from. I got so in the last podcast we were talking about how I found a new bone. And Belinda, what is that?
Sorry.
Oh, no phones in the studio, Belinda.
But you know what it was? It was me to remind myself to check in. No, to check in to see if I got an earlier space in the gym.
All right, okay. Anyway, last week in the podcast, we were talking about how I found a new bone. And surprisingly, I've had some messages about this. So I got...
What bone?
You were here when we recorded the podcast, Belinda.
Yeah, but what are you talking about?
We spoke about this in the podcast. The xiphoid process here at the bottom of my chest, remember? We had a whole conversation about this.
Yes. Oh
my God.
Yeah, I hear you. I was there.
Oh, sweet mother of God.
Oh, yes, because you'd lost so much weight. Yeah, we get it. You're skinny, whatever.
There has to be some allowance I can apply for.
Just about carers.
Podcast carers allowance.
Love it.
We'll get on to government with that. So anyway, got a message earlier on. Oh my God, Paddy. I was just listening to the podcast. I had the exact same thing this week with the xiphoid process. I was laying down and saw this lump and started pressing it, thinking, is it a hernia or something? But it's rock hard like a bone. Where the xiphoid process appears to be from anatomical drawings. It freaked me out so much, I went down a Google rabbit hole worrying about it. So,
oh my God.
To show. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
You're not the only nutcase. Sorry.
Hey. Don't talk about our listeners like that.
Yeah, I know.
I think we need to come up with a name for our listeners.
Oh, our followers.
Yeah, because I've
thought about that before.
Yeah, I was listening to Help I Sexted My Boss, and they have names for people. Love that podcast.
Love them. Yeah,
it's amazing.
They're so funny.
And then I think, what could ours be? I don't know.
What do they call?
It's not G&T or
they have something really cool, I bet.
Yeah, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but they do reference it quite a bit. And then I was thinking we could have the P&Bers, Paddy Belindas.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a better name out there. So if you're listening to the podcast and you have an idea for what we could call our listeners, an endearing name to show our appreciation and a bit of crack, DM any of us at Ozempic_insights for Belinda or at a dose of Paddy for myself. Speaking of which, that is a different name for me.
That's right. And I wanted to bring it up and remind everybody. And Paddy said, "No, Belle, we've covered that. We did that last week."
We did. So,
I think people need to be reminded, though, Paddy.
Okay. So
Mounjaro Paddy was there for so long. It
was, yeah. So it was there for since from the start, 7 months. So So for me, I'll put a post up on Instagram about this, and maybe how long is it? Oh yeah, I can read it out maybe. Basically, what I said was a new chapter, a new name. I feel I should have sad romantic
soft
music
in the background
or something like that. I don't think I have that. All I have is the
rain.
I still have this. Yeah, I only have that music. What's this one?
Oh, it's too upbeat.
Well, I can do it. I'll do it like a radio ad.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know,
if you haven't heard Paddy advertising before, this is great. Go.
One of my other jobs is I work in the radio. So I'll see if I can do this now. A new chapter, a new name. Over the past several months, I've been on an incredible journey of transformation, growth and rediscovery. I've shed almost 100 pounds, but more than that, I've gained so much. A renewed sense of purpose, confidence, and a deep passion for wellness and advocacy. As I continue this journey, I want my platform to reflect not only where I've been, but also where I'm going. That's why I'm excited to share my new name with you all, A Dose of Paddy. This name isn't just about me, it's about what I hope to bring to you. A regular dose of transformation, wellness and real talk. A space for inspiration, motivation and sharing the ups and downs of weight loss and wellness. And advocacy for those navigating obesity, fighting stigma and striving for life to live their best life. While my focus began with my personal weight loss story, I want to go beyond that and shine a light on the broader topics of health and well-being, mental, emotional and physical. From tips and experiences to open conversations about the realities of obesity and wellness, my content will continue to grow just like I am, hopefully not on the scale. So thank you to every single one of you who supports me, cheers me on and shares your own stories. This journey is better because of you. Here's to progress, positivity and showing up as our best selves every single day through compassion, advocacy and enhanced health. Welcome to A Dose of Paddy.
There's some dose, all right. That was some fucking dose to listen to. Jeez. Fucking hell, Paddy.
If you manage to listen to all that, fair play. I like that bed, actually.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't read it. I read the first 7 chapters and then after that.
I'm just going to cut your mic. Do you know that?
I know. I actually was laughing so much I had to mute myself.
Whatever.
What else are we going to talk about, Paddy? You fucking don't. Stop that shit now.
This is the problem. When I have the controllers and you're like, just got to put up and shut up. So anyway, yeah. So I've changed my name to A Dose of Paddy. Same on TikTok. So on TikTok you have 2 names, you see. You have your profile name and your username. My username keeps saying it's updated, but then it's not updated when I visually look at it. So I think there's some visual error with TikTok itself. I've raised a ticket.
Did you uninstall it and reinstall it?
Yeah, and tried on different phones and everything. But anyway. So there's some issues there, but you'll still find me if you search A Dose Paddy, you'll still find me there. So that is just obviously a little play on the word dose, and because Belinda keeps saying I'm some dose and whatnot. So yeah. But sorry, I was asking you. So you've no particular episode, Belinda, that kind of stands out as your favorite, or one you really enjoyed, or stuff like that.
I think having Nikki on.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that one. I think she's just so insightful as well. Yeah. I was very sad that I missed Rob, because that was an epic. Do
you know what I think though as well?
I was kind of half delighted when I heard it, because of your conversation as well, and I would have just been trying to relate to it. Yeah.
I think it turned out as something special, kind of. This sounds bad because you weren't there, but do you know, because
that happens a lot.
Yeah. Those conversations between 2 men so publicly don't typically happen, you know. And actually, someone reached out to me during the week saying, I actually got an email from, it was Australia, believe it or not, as well, where I think it was somebody had said, I'm trying to find the podcast about Rob. So if you go back, it is there. It's still up on all the platforms and that. There.
Yeah.
And you'll find it talking about bariatric surgery and Ozempic and stuff like that with Rob Comiskey. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think for me that was a great conversation. Also because just before I went in to record it, literally as I was about to join our recording, I spilled an entire big massive pint of drink all over my desk, and I was like, oh my God. But that one, and
it turned out okay.
Yeah, it did. And the one that I put up about stopping Mounjaro, not last week,
GLP1.
the week before, 2 weeks ago, that one, I got a huge response from that one. People wishing me well, asking questions. So that's been an interesting one as well.
That was a really good one as well. Yeah, I actually got text messages from my friends in other countries saying to me, Belle, what's going on? Is Paddy actually coming off it? I haven't time to listen. Tell me what's going on. And let's just talk about that for a minute, because your dose was due when?
So
today's Tuesday the 4th.
Tomorrow will be, as we're recording this, so tomorrow will be Wednesday the 5th. It'll have been 2 weeks since I took my last dose then.
So you're overdue a week then? You're a week overdue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so talk to us about that. Tell us what's going on with you.
So I've had a realisation over the weekend, which was a bit profound for me. And that sounds very... but honestly, it was.
That's what this journey is, yeah.
So I now realise that one of the sensations that I used to have before, not food noise, okay, because the food noise has not come back yet, okay, but the sensation of wanting food in my body, okay, that sensation has come back. However, given that I leaned in so intentionally over the last 7 months with wanting to understand intuitive eating and listen to my body, and like I haven't tracked during that 7 months, so I regularly, and I mentioned this before, but regularly would let my body get to that point of being physically hungry, where like I would get, say, tummy rumbles and stuff like that. Yeah, so then I'd know, oh, I'm hungry, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But what I've now realised is that the sensation that I've had all my life, that I interpreted as hunger, isn't necessarily hunger itself. It's simply a state of not being full.
Yeah.
Which is different. And it took me a while to sit with that. Not feeling full does not mean that you're hungry. Exactly. Yeah. And this blew my mind a bit over the weekend.
So, previous to your GLP-1 journey, would you have wanted to be full all the time, or would you have been full all the time? And if you weren't full?
I was never full.
Okay, fuck it. Neither was I.
And now I think I've had this realization that this sensation of... It's like this thing, I know, it's like this thing, this sensation in my stomach. And I always thought this was hunger. But now I know after the last 7 months, this sensation is not hunger. It's simply just a state of not feeling satisfied, full from the food that I've had. And a perfect example, like the other day, I had a big meal, finished the meal, and I sat there and I literally was like, I could eat that entire thing again. Not because, again, I was necessarily, as I now know, not because I was physically hungry, but because I wasn't full. And now it has me questioning, for all this time in my life, for so many years, have I essentially been chasing fullness, which I've never been able to achieve? Yeah. Is that kind of... I hope that's making sense for people.
100% it's making sense. And it's so relatable as well, because that's what people talk about.
100%. And I say, this is definitely separate from that idea of food noise. And I don't want to mix it up. This is where my body is... Like, I'm not thinking about food all day, every day like I was before. Not yet, anyway, because bear in mind, I still have a level of medication on my body.
Yeah, I know you do, yeah. But can you track that on your Shotzi? Do you know what's in there?
Okay. Yeah, but like, this idea of, like, whilst I'm on my medication, that I will have, say, half a salad and I'll be full. Like, I'll feel full. Yeah. Over the past, I would say since Thursday of last week, so that's maybe past 4 or 5 days or so, definitely I've not had that. Anything, it's like I have this void in my stomach of not being full, and no matter how much food I'm putting in there, it is not filling that void of lack of fullness. But then again, it's about me now understanding, but I don't need to feel full. I don't need to be full. If I know I have eaten a meal there that is a substantial meal, I now am rationalised in, well, my body has had enough energy in that meal, so I know my body's okay. It's not going to starve. But that sensation is still there. That sensation of not being full is still there. And that's awkward, or whatever word you want to use.
Do you feel that you're educated more now about how your body works than you were previous?
I definitely think I have had, through the work I have done myself, in terms of sitting with, I feel full from that meal, or I feel hungry. Am I hungry? And then actually letting it get a little bit hungrier, like till I get that tummy rumbles. That's been extremely beneficial for me. That allowing myself to actually get physically hungry a bit more frequent, so that I can identify what that signal is from my body. And how different it feels from this sensation I'm having now. So I definitely think that is something that has...
Are you uncomfortable with that now? Is that making you uncomfortable? Are you nervous?
I would say I'm eating more.
Yeah.
I am eating more.
But Paddy, what I'm trying to get at is, I'm just trying to put myself in your situation. If I was in your situation, right? Because I will hold my hand up and say that I have come to depend on this medication for clarity in my life so much that it would fucking kill me to have to come off this. And I think that because you've had these great 7 months of clarity where the food noise has gone and the hunger has gone, and you're able to focus on yourself and listen to your body's proper hunger cues, that are you a little bit petrified now that... Now, I know this isn't going to last forever. And obviously as well, this is like a little kind of period in time where you get to see what the difference is between off and on. Like,
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Are you nervous? Are you petrified? Can you just...
I think if I hadn't have had that kind of mental breakthrough over the weekend about being able to differentiate, this sensation isn't hunger, it's just not full.
Okay.
I think if I hadn't have that, because Thursday, Friday into Saturday, I was definitely worried with like, oh my God, why is this feeling here? I've literally just had a big meal. And like, I couldn't figure it out. Those 3 days, I was like, I have just had a big meal. And like, I could eat that straight away again. Why is this? This doesn't make sense.
Were you susceptible to binge eating then previous to GLP?
Years ago.
Right.
But I went to therapy for that.
Therapy, CBT, was it?
Yeah. And that definitely helps with that. That definitely helped.
Okay.
So I would say in terms of the episode of binge eating, that was definitely a psychological response to situations.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But in terms of constantly going to the cupboard and picking and eating, that was because I just wasn't feeling full. Yeah. Do you know, that kind of thing. So I think that breakthrough over the weekend of just, oh my God, this sensation, yes, I'm not feeling full like I have done for the last 7 months, but equally, I'm not hungry with tummy rumbling like I have been. So therefore, I'm okay. And that does just mean that I do have this constant
sensation in your stomach
of just not being full. They could be filled. And I think this is where the food noise, if it comes back, for me, I don't know if it will or not, but this is where if that was buddied up with that constant thinking of food and that constant sensation of not being full, that's where I think the danger zone would be for me.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, not only am I having this
whammy.
sensation, I just cannot stop thinking about it. But like, I have tried to rationalize myself. Like, I will go into, like the other day, I was thinking, okay, what practical steps can I take to try and actually physically fill my stomach? And this is where, like, in terms of bulk of food, and this is where I went and got my massive chopped salad that I love.
Yeah.
And again, because there's so much fiber and so much physical food density in that, it physically fills my stomach. And that's probably the nearest I've gotten now to a sensation of, oh, I don't need food immediately again after that. But quite soon.
But is that you trying to placate yourself?
It's definitely me trying to quiet that sensation in my stomach, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying stomach, it might be something here.
Yeah, I know, but essentially you're trying to talk yourself around.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe that because you've had these 7 months that you're able now to kind of, what's the word I'm looking at, rationalise it?
Yes, yeah. I'm definitely trying to control it.
That's great, like.
Yeah,
rationalise, control. Yeah, because you wouldn't have had that previous.
But I would love if there's somebody listening to this, and if it's a case that you're on a journey, whatever that looks like for you, and even just trying to understand the sensations that you're having, because I now realize that there is definitely, I could not imagine living the rest of my life with this sensation in my stomach, because that would just wreck my head. But like, as a short term,
you're just managing it for a very short period of time at the moment, you know.
Yeah. But trying to figure out that difference between that physical hunger when your tummy rumbles and you're definitely like, I will pass out. Well, not I'll pass out, but you know what I mean? Like, you're at that point where like, I'm physically really, really hungry versus I'm just not full. Because I've never had that realization before. I always knew I was never full because I'd never get a sensation. But I wasn't able to pinpoint that as being the constant sensation. I always interpreted that as I'm hungry, which I now know it's not. But
Paddy, do you think then that that's where your food noise comes from? Is because you're constantly thinking that you're not full, and then you're constantly thinking about the food that is going to make you full. And essentially, is that food noise?
Well, see, this is the thing.
And it's different for everybody.
Yeah. Like, for me, I would say that this sensation I'm having definitely is more of a physical sensation, whereas I think the food noise is more of a psychological thing.
Yeah.
But then I think, obviously, I think there is probably some connection from it.
And as there has to be, yeah.
Like, as we know, one of the things that GLP-1 does in your body is kind of signal that you're full and that you're fuller for longer and all that kind of stuff. And that when you have food, it signals that you're full, you know, for a longer period of time. And that's what these kind of treatments do, is they mimic that for longer. So I can understand how they could be all related, but I'm sure people that are a lot more educated than me can probably give us the scientific answer. But I'd say there's definitely a correlation.
I don't think so, Paddy. I don't think so. I think this is a very personal experience for everybody, and I think it differs for everybody. And I just hope I'll never have to find out.
Yeah. So it's anyway, but like I'm feeling fine. I've got my surgery this Thursday.
Kelton, got your MyFitnessPal out?
Got my MyFitnessPal out, yeah. I've been tracking stuff in that.
Tracking your weight?
Tracking my weight, yeah. That's all as normal, yeah. We'll be continuing to do that. I'm like, I said this on Instagram last night, but like I am comfortable with if there is an increase in my weight, because I know in the grand scheme of 7 months, going up a few pounds for, medical reason and stuff like that.
Do you know what I would say as well to that? Do you know what I'd say to that as well, Paddy, is that you'll go so hard when you come back on it. Yeah. You'll be fine.
So I'm not worrying about that, because definitely that was something that people were asking me on TikTok Live last night about, oh my God, are you freaking out about gaining a few pounds if you do? I'm like, no.
Because you know where you're going.
This is the long game. And like I've lost 95. So even if I put like half a stone, like I don't know, like I'm only totally putting these out of the sky. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things.
100%. Yeah.
Particularly during a period of time where my body will need that to help heal and recover and, stuff like that. I'm definitely being a lot more mindful of my protein intake though, because that was something on the back of my DEXA scan, which I still have to do a video about, but that I think highlighted to me that I needed to up my protein. As good as I was being with it, I think there's definitely room for more and that. So I have been trying to hit my protein, be more intentional with my protein intake as well.
Yeah.
So I have,
Yeah, good. And it fills you for longer then as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm still definitely leaning on like some protein foods and protein shakes and stuff like that, not as the main source, but definitely as they're intended as a supplement to to my other food intake. Yeah. But
you're snacking on protein products rather than more so. Yeah. That's good.
No,
that's good.
I did have a few rhubarb and custard sweets today because Mum had some. They were gorgeous.
That's okay. It's allowed.
Yeah, like hard boiled sweet type ones. You know the ones.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah.
That's good. That's good. It's good to hear that you're doing okay and you're having these realizations and that you actually still have the mind space to be able to think about things as well. Yeah. So continue on as you're going, Paddy. We're all here cheering you on.
Thank you.
You're doing okay.
Speaking of cheering you on and cheering people on, you had your check-in with the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Today, was that today or yesterday?
Today, this morning. Yeah, okay. My 6-week checkup.
So talk us through, so if there's someone out there that's listening, so first of all, I'm a huge advocate that resistance training, strength training, that is the priority training that everybody should be doing when they're on any weight loss journey, even not if it's a weight loss journey, just for health and longevity. You absolutely should have resistance-based training, weight-based training of some form in your life. Now, that does not mean that everybody has to be in a gym, pumping iron and all that kind of stuff. If you can, brilliant, but it absolutely does not mean that. And that's not to say that cardio doesn't have a place as well, but in terms of your muscles, your bones, your joints, all that kind of stuff.
Your longevity.
Absolutely. This is where the kind of resistance-based training is so important. So take us back to December, like 6 weeks ago when you started. I remember it was the 14th Monday.
14th of December. Yeah.
Was it the week before Christmas? Because I remember you telling me.
Yeah, the week before Christmas week.
Yeah, because I remember you saying it to me at the time, and I was thinking, "Geez, she's brave starting this before Christmas."
Yeah,
but that's also
everyone
a great
thought
time
I was mental. Everyone thought I was mental. Yeah.
So.
And I stopped drinking alcohol all the time. All the time.
I know what you mean, yeah. Socially.
Yeah.
So talk us through, for somebody that is thinking, oh God, I'd feel a bit too intimidated walking through the doors of a gym. How did you feel going in that first day, or where was your head at, can you recall?
Sure, look, I don't ever feel nervous doing things like that. I never feel intimidated or anything like that going into those places. I'm always quite,
You're not reserved.
No, I'm not reserved at all. If you were here now, I'd be kicking you under the table. Like, I'm pretty confident. Even when I was nearly 6 stone heavier, I was pretty confident as well. So I didn't mind going in there. I didn't mind chatting. And I got a really good vibe from there. And the thing that drew me to tailor-made coaching was. It was a group. It was a small group, and their clientele, they've got an awful lot of women, and they've got an awful lot of women that are over the age of 40 as well. So that kind of drew me to it as well. And
next year they'll have more women over 50.
50, they will, Paddy. Yes, they will, Paddy. And what was the question? Oh, what made me do it? Yeah, I had a really bad hangover and it lasted 3 days, and I thought, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I want? Yeah, time for a change. And I wanted to invest, not just my time, I wanted to invest financially into it. So it would give me that push not to go out and drink as much as I could over the Christmas and all the rest of it. And I thought, at least if I invest financially into it, because it was expensive enough, like, you know, then I'd be less likely to fuck it up. And it worked. And it worked.
Absolutely. And that's something people used to say to me, like when I was doing personal training in person with people or stuff like that, you'd have people that come like, I want to book like 10 sessions with you. And I'd be like, really? Like, you know, we can do something. I'm like, no, I want to do it because
you have to.
It's paid, it's done, I'm committed, and I have to see it through.
Yep.
Do you know? And I get that.
So I went so committed. I'm still so committed. You know, I paid
I would love to see some workout videos from you when you were in there, like snippets off you doing your workouts and stuff. I'd love for your followers to see the type of workouts you were doing. I think they'd be really inspired.
I did hip thrusts today, and I'm only starting, and I've always had a bad back and all the rest of it, and I've never done any kind of strength training like that, especially where my core is concerned.
You were saying last week is when we were chatting that as touched on there, that you had a bad back. Were you sitting on balls today as well?
No. Well, I was sitting on balls the last time. when I was doing my weighted squat, you had to sit on the ball. You had to go down so far. Like, Paddy, shut up.
So you were squatting and going down on the balls. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, look, we've all been there.
Weighted squat.
So what?
Anyway, my hip thrusts were at 30 kg today. So it's the bar. I know.
Well done.
I know it's not to some people.
No. Like, never say that.
Yeah, that's true. It's all
relative to you.
Yeah, relative.
And for some people, even body weight squats is a massive thing. I know people that cannot do body weight squats because they're lacking that trust in themselves that they get back up. They're afraid they'll fall, they lean forward. So like, never diminish your own achievement.
Yeah. Now, I tell you what though, Paddy, I tell you what has stood to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, listen, we were doing, we swap over, you know, you're working in you're having a twosome and you're swapping over. And now,
is there like a bowl where you throw your car keys when you're going to?
No, mate.
Whole new workout series.
So there was this exercise that we had to do while the other person was lifting.
Yeah.
And you lift and then and it was a side plank. And I just did it. I did my side plank. I got up in my palm and then I put my hand up as you would. And I was the only one that was able to do that.
Amazing.
Yeah, because of my 2.5 years in Pilates.
Yes.
All of that has stood to me, like using my core, strengthening up my gluteus maximus.
Your backside.
My arse. And my glutes.
They are the biggest muscle groups.
That's right. Huge. Yeah. But just to say shout out to my Pilates instructor, Emer. Like she prepared me for it so much. We didn't know what she was preparing me for, but we were well prepared. And my squats are awesome. Like my squats.
Yeah. Good. Well done. I'm
delighted with my life now.
That's brilliant. That's really good.
Yeah. And we got some stats, didn't we?
Oh yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. I got some stats.
You did. Did you have them?
Oh yeah, sorry.
This is about you. This bit. This is your podcast. We're talking about you.
I've got
I can get them. I have them.
No. I know you have, and I'm going into our chat so I can find them.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Do we need some like interlude music while we're waiting?
I don't know what any of this means. So, my muscle mass went from 32.6 down to 31.3.
No, that was your...
Muscle mass.
No, it went up.
Yeah. Oh, did it go up? Oh, shit, yeah, it went up. So, the gym for 6 weeks and I lost muscle. Let me start again. You can edit this out.
No, I'm not. I am not editing this out. No.
So my muscle mass went from 31.3 to 32.6.
Exactly.
So that's an increase of 1.3, which in
percentage terms
would be near on 5% of my body has turned to muscle mass.
So you've seen an increase in your muscle mass in your body of about 5% in the 6 weeks.
That's what okay. Yeah. And then my body fat percentage has gone down by 2.3%. In terms of percentage points. So overall, my body fat has gone down by 4.8, let's say 5% of. So I dropped 5% in body fat and I gained 5% in body muscle.
Yeah. So like it's amazing. Yeah.
Weight stayed absolutely the same nearly.
And as I was saying to you though,
it's not a statistic I'm worried about now at this stage.
But this is a great example of what we were saying earlier, true body recomposition, whereby people will freak out, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But you've proven there that, yes, your weight, you had a small drop in your weight there. However, what you saw was quite a big difference in how that weight was being made up. So your body's in a much healthier place because of the increase in both muscle mass and the reduction in fat that's actually in your body over those 6 weeks, which is amazing, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Delighted. So we're going to do it again in 4 weeks' time. We're going to do it again then in 4 weeks' time after that.
Yeah.
And see how I'm going. I have absolutely no interest in the scales now. That's not what this is about. I was talking about it on my stories today, and I just feel like after this now, there's going to be a little bit of a shift. Like you've had a little bit of a shift as well. Obviously, my GLP1 content will always be at the forefront, but the scales are not mattering to me as much as they would have. And for me now, it's about building muscle mass, making my body stronger, not having to need assistance when I turn 80 in a couple of years' time.
Yeah. I'll still be waking up to voice note, Paddy.
When are we recording?
What are we talking about this week, Paddy?
Paddy will be fucking 90 and we'll still be injecting her.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But listen, we've had such a good run, haven't we, on season 1? It's been brilliant.
We have. It really has been amazing. Now, one of the things before Christmas, we had reached out to Eli Lilly looking for some comment from them in relation to some questions. So what I'm going to do is to basically go through the information that we got from Eli Lilly and kind of share that here. So the so the first question was, Mounjaro has been available in the UK for almost a year and licensed EU-wide for some time. The HPRA advised that the delay in Ireland was due to Eli Lilly's marketing strategy. Could you confirm if the expected release in 2025 is set for January, or is there a more detailed timeline to supply to Irish pharmacies? So the answer that we've got from Eli Lilly is that Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide, which is the kind of the non-brand name of it, the active ingredient, it's currently available in Northern Ireland, and Lilly is planning to make tirzepatide available in the Republic of Ireland for private prescriptions in Q1 2025. We've also submitted to the HSE for reimbursement for both type 2 diabetes and obesity and are working through that process. I then went on to ask, can you share the expected pricing details for Mounjaro in Ireland? So we will be putting the first maintenance level dose of 5 milligram. Bear in mind the 2.5 is a step up, a starting one, okay?
Explain that, the first maintenance dose.
So the maintenance doses are essentially deemed to be 5, 10 and 15.
All right, as apart from the starting dose. Got
yeah,
it.
well, yeah. So we will be putting the first maintenance dose of 5 milligram into the supply chain at a price in the region of €215 for a 4-dose pen, i.e. a month supply. This will be the cost that Lilly supplies the medicine to distributors at.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Then I asked, why is the price considerably higher than the UK, where a private prescription costs approximately £140 for a 5 milligram pen? The answer is, we believe tirzepatide is competitively and appropriately priced based on the efficacy of the medicine and the value it can bring to individuals, health systems and society to reduce overall economic burden on type 2 diabetes and obesity. Different prices across countries are dependent on a variety of factors that differ across countries, including VAT and market dynamics. And that is something somebody else explained to me as well, actually, when we were talking about this, that there can be. I said, are there any details available regarding supply prices to the HSE? They've said we've submitted to the HSE for reimbursement for both type 2 diabetes and obesity and are working through that process. What is the current status of the negotiations with the HSE regarding availability of the treatment outside of private prescriptions? And again, same answer, we've submitted to the HSE for reimbursement for both type 2 diabetes and obesity and are working through that process. I was then just curious about with kind of the tirzepatide and where it's going to be currently manufactured, because we know that there is a new Lilly facility in Ireland. And I was just curious, is that going to be, one of the main sites? So they just confirmed that Lilly manufacturing sites make a number of different medications. There isn't just one manufacturing site for this. I wanted to confirm, is it going to be the same quick pen like that we have seen in the UK? Because obviously the USA has a different...
they have 1 pen a week, don't they?
Yeah, it's 1 pen a week in the US. So I was just curious.
Paddy, when I was on Trulicity, I had that.
Okay, yeah. What they said was, yes, it's going to be the same quick pen device that will be made available in Ireland. Then I was curious to know, because are there any plans to release vials in Ireland?
Like compound?
No. I'll talk about this in a minute. So a vial, because I note the reference to solution for injectable, which was also received approval in addition to the quick pen format. So what this is essentially, so at the moment, the medication, like them all, come in a pen, and you dispense via the pen. In America, the medications also come in like the little glass bottles. That's a vial that you would essentially withdraw the amount that you need and you would inject it from that. So there is approval for those as well. There is a thought, in some places that could be a cheaper source to it. It could make it more easily available, because some of the restrictions or issues we've seen with some other medications isn't necessarily to supply the medication itself, but more so the device that's used to dispense the medication. I asked them, multiple GPs in Ireland we spoke with have reported low awareness of Mounjaro and tirzepatide. What does Eli Lilly's education campaign for healthcare professionals in Ireland entail? Could you share any educational materials beyond the patient information leaflet? So what they've said is, in preparation for launching, Lilly is engaging with healthcare professionals to educate and answer questions. Prescribing decisions should be made by healthcare professionals within the approved indication, and that's fair enough, we get that. Now, this was around the time where there was the RTE went undercover looking at the kind of black market trade in Ireland off medication. So I was curious then just to include like some questions about this, because one of the medications that came up that was in Ireland is through the black market was retatrutide, which is deeply concerning, because this is a medication that is still in clinical trials, it's nowhere near being released to the public.
In America even.
Yeah, in America. It's not, this medication is not available anywhere globally. Anywhere. Yeah.
And it's on like high lockdown as well, the trials.
So this is what we asked about. The recent RT Investigates expose revealed that retatrutide is being distributed in Ireland despite its unapproved status globally. What steps is Eli Lilly taking to investigate the source of this medication on the black market, whether internally or through clinical trial participants? So their answer was, we are in contact with the HPRA on this topic. In general, Lilly aims to take all necessary actions to safeguard public health. We continue to support international education efforts by joining forces with non-governmental organisations such as World Health Organization, World Health Professional Association and World Customs Organization to warn patients and healthcare professionals about the dangers of buying medications outside the legitimate supply chain. 100%. Like, this goes back to that whole idea of you should only ever, any form of kind of medicine or treatment, prescribed, non-prescribed, whatever, it should only be coming from the legitimate sources, doctors, pharmacies, etc. We asked, is there any clinical trial participants for retatrutide in Ireland? If so, how many? Because my train of thought was, is there people in the trial in Ireland and maybe is it leaking that way?
Oh, yeah.
But they answered no.
Right.
There isn't. Then there is, second last question I asked is, are there any clinical trial participants for retatrutide in the UK? If so, how many? And they have said, yes, we are not disclosing participant numbers at this time. And then the final question.
So it's in the UK, yeah.
It's in the UK. And again, these are just the answers. I'm just going to give them and then we're just going to leave them. So people have the information. What does the supply process look like for retatrutide for the clinical trial participants? Specifically, how is the medication delivered and tracked, and what data collection or monitoring processes are in place for participants? And the answer is, this is not something that we can provide further details on at this time. So that is all the information that we have from Eli Lilly. And I have to say, I really, really appreciate the team there with getting back to me and with providing us, the answers. They have. Like, they've been, even in terms of other things, in terms of giving me guidance on and stuff like that, I really do appreciate them. And I appreciate the fact that they're willing to gauge with like a podcast that is in this sphere and to give us some answers.
It's good for them. It's good for them as well. It's good for us, and it's good for every single person that listens to us as well. That's what we're here to do. We're here to try and educate people as much as we can. Yeah.
And like, hopefully, one of the things that's important is that we can get factual information out to people about the world of obesity, and this is a big part of things at the moment. So thank you Eli Lilly for engaging with us on that and giving us those responses, because I did think initially I might just get one kind of blanket kind of reply from them, but in fairness, huge respect, they did kind of, I feel, do the best that they could. Cool. Anything else, Belinda, that we had on for today? Can you remember?
I don't think so.
Oh God!
You're asking me if I can remember. I don't know what's going on, Paddy.
I know. So, like, we are in discussions about trying to meet up because we've never met up in person.
It's going to happen soon, though. It's going to happen soon,
which is wild.
Soon. You have numbers that are
actual numbers now. I have random numbers. I thought, are these like runes from a stone or something like that? I don't know. So that's one of the things that we're hoping to get done, is to get to meet up in person.
And we're so excited as well to, when we meet up, to make a plan and invite all of the guests that we want on. And my goodness, we have some good ones in mind.
Yeah. The other thing as well, we both would love to hear from people that have been on, I will say, weight loss and maybe inspirational journeys, maybe off their health or fitness, even if it's not weight loss. I think it would be really interesting to hear inspiring stories from people, but also from people that have had challenges on their weight loss journey. So if you're somebody that is comfortable about maybe telling us a little bit about your journey and seeing if something that we could talk about on the podcast, drop us an email. It doesn't matter where in the world you are either. We're totally open to anyone in the world.
Absolutely. And we just want the community itself to be involved in this as well, because it's all well and good just the two of us sitting here, but we want everybody else to be involved as well, and that's why we're here, so that's why I'm here anyway. I don't know what you're doing here.
I'm here for the paycheck. Still waiting on it. Can I like invoice all the hours as like tax deductible at the end of the year?
I'd say you could. Yeah. Surely there's a form.
Yeah, there must be a form. But hello@thedose.ie. So hello@thedose.ie. That will get through to us. If you're somebody that has, say, if it's a weight loss journey, if it's maybe just about maybe overcoming a challenge or hardship or whatever in your life, we'd love to hear about that, because I think that's something as well that is inspiring for people, is hearing other people that have overcome things, you know. But yeah, so if you think you're of interest, let us know. We'll talk. We'll get our people to talk to your people. You know?
Brilliant.
But yeah, I feel kind of sad saying goodbye. Even though I know we're back in a few weeks, but
I know, but we're back in a couple of weeks. We haven't even made a date yet to say when we're coming back, but it will be out on. It'll be on the Friday morning, I presume. We'll stick to the schedule that we've been keeping really, really well as well for the Monday.
Oh God, above.
Play that music, mate.
Well, I will. Yeah. So, Belinda, we will talk again probably in like 10 minutes, but like in terms of podcast wise, we will be back here. Obviously, as we touched on there could be some exciting developments in Q1 in terms of there's different events happening in Ireland. There is different wellness events. There is different conversations that are happening in the world of obesity. Even I've seen some stuff from
conversations,
like,
and we want all those covered.
Yeah, like the Department of Health the other day. So like it's a really exciting time of the year for many, many reasons. So we will want to try and plan some of that.
Big changes coming into the UK as well.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
No, we didn't, but we will. We'll hold on to that one, Paddy.
Yeah, that's
we won't scare our UK
very
listeners.
Welcome one. No, very, very, very welcome one. I really like that proposal that's come in this week.
Yeah.
Belinda, any final words before I turn your mic off?
For the last time. Not really. Just want to say thank you to everybody, all those 13,000 people.
Yeah,
that
13,000 streams.
Yeah, amazing.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and thanks, Paddy. Thanks for putting up with me, mate.
Yeah.
And you? Any final words, thoughts?
I would say just look after yourselves, folks. Be kind to yourselves, and please, please, please. Anything to do with your healthcare, with starting or changing anything, please get your information from your doctors and your healthcare team, not from TikTokers and Instagrammers. And I'm very aware of the irony in us saying that, but that is because we are hugely passionate about people accessing their wellness and their treatment and their support via legitimate, proper channels. So please,
and we can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, engage with your medical team as opposed to some randomer down in a beauty salon that has random bags with them or whatever. Okay. But until a few weeks' time, adios, amigo, and we will chat soon.
Laters.
None of this conversation should be taken as medical advice for you. Before starting or changing any medical or wellness treatment, always consult your GP and medical care team.